Hare Krishna, Namaste. Chapter 14 is entitled as Gunatraya Vibhaha Yoga, Sloka 16. Karmaṇaḥ sukṛtasyāhuḥ sāttvikaṁ nirmalaṁ phalam rajasas phalam duḥkham ajñānaṁ tamasaḥ phalam. From the previous two slokas, it was explained that when one dies, when Sattvika Guna is dominant, he will take birth in pious religious family who are also in Sattvika Guna. When one dies, when Rajoguna is prominent, he will take birth among the families who are fruity workers, as they are also in Rajoguna. When one dies, when Tamoguna is prominent, he will take birth among the animals and plants kingdom. That makes him totally disqualified to perform any religious karmas. The next question that comes from this is, well, because currently of particular guna, he leaves the body and then in the next life he takes a body that is predominantly of that particular guna, and among those members who are also with that predominant guna. What happens after that life? What will be his next destination? Let's learn the meaning of the sloka. Sukṛtasyāhuḥ performs activities with disinterest in the fruits of those activities. They don't think themselves to be the doer, nor they think the karma belongs to them. Quite opposite to the other gunas, wherein other guna, Rajoguna, will always hanker for the fruits of his action, whereas the Tamoguna is totally out of picture, as that person will not be able to perform any such karma. Sukṛtasyāhuḥ, karmaṇaḥ, to work, sāttvikaṁ, characterized by heightened sattva guna, phalam, the result, nirmalaṁ, purified, that is, free from the stain of sorrow. Ahuhu is said. Rajasas, of the mode of passion, Rajoguna, phalam, the result, duḥkham, to be full of misery. Ahuhu, they say. This ahuhu has to be added for each of these guna. Tamasaḥ, of acts undertaken in birth originated by high tamas, phalam, the result, ajñānaṁ evacha, is only ignorance. Ahuhu, they say. Ahuhu, they say, meaning they are the great learned sages. Now let's see the translation. The result of pious action is pure and is said to be in the mode of goodness, but action done in the mode of passion results in misery, and action performed in the mode of ignorance results in foolishness. We learned in 14th sloka that when one leaves the body during Sattvaguna being prominent, will be born in the family who are also Sattvik, who knows the reality of the Atma well, will perform work in the form of worship of the Lord, and will acquire more and more sattva. Such person who is born into family of sattva guna will attain happiness, not mixed with any trace of sorrow. The idea is for us to know if we have taken birth in such families, we are supposed to cultivate and grow further spiritually, we have to gain more knowledge and also bring in practice of those knowledge. So one has to value the opportunity that has been given by taking birth in religious, pious family, rather simply questioning and arguing why one should do these things when the rest of the world, others are having fun, freely enjoying their life, not having any restrictions, following anything. Why can't I be like that? Being born into families of saintly people, lives becomes easier and one needs to take advantage of it. If the parents are into attending temple programs, obviously the children will also join them. They will take the children to the temple programs. If the parents attend spiritual lectures, the children will also made to listen such classes. If parents eat sattvic food, prasadam, the children also given prasadam. If the parents serves at the temple, washing the pots, cleaning the temple, then the children are also engaged in doing services. If the parent chants holy names of the Lord, the children are also made to chant the holy names. If the parents go to bed early and get up early, then the children also go to bed early and get up early. So, the point is, by taking birth in such family, sattva guna raises gradually. In this way, one can attain the Atma Sakshatkar, self-realization, which will then lead one to have Paramatma Sakshatkara, having eye-to-eye contact of the Supreme Lord. Whereas, if one dies and the Rajoguna is prominent and controlling, then such person will be born into families performing works driven by the fruity result. Such families are very much inclined and interested in obtaining material gains, either in this world or in heavenly planet. That's where the birth will take place for one who dies when Rajoguna is prominent. By being born in such family, he will also undertake work for gaining their results, their fruity result, and will become more and more rajasic, repeatedly being born in similar family again and again, increasing the Rajoguna. Even if one does religious karma and attains heavenly planet, which is what the Rajoguna person does, their life in heaven is certainly temporary. We learn this in chapter 8, Sloka 16. Abrahma bhuvana loka punaravartino arjuna. Even if one goes to Brahmaloka, one has to come back into this world. Therefore, it's like a ferry wheel going up and coming down, from down to up. So this person keep on going into the cycle of up and down, not escaping from this ferry wheel of life, which is nothing but duḥkham, misery. In olden days, there is one type of punishment where a criminal head is pushed into the waters, where he struggles for breath. After a few minutes, he is released, and he feels so relieved and happy to breathe. Immediately his head is pushed again into the water, where he suffers. After a few seconds, again his head is released. He feels so comfortable, so joyful, but within a moment his head is pushed again into the water. So there is suffering and happiness. This happiness is nothing but just a short-term relief from the miseries, which is also in one sense misery, because it is not permanent. That's how it works. It is said the term duḥkham is a compound of dur and kham, meaning sorrow and happiness respectively. Lastly, if one dies when tamasaḥ is prominent, then he will be reborn as a being with no possibility of acquiring any jnana, knowledge, and will become increasingly tamasic, and his successive birth will be so with increased ignorance. That is his fate. He further dwells into such lower species where there is zero chances for such person to cultivate any spiritual knowledge or any knowledge, or to practice karma yoga, jnana yoga, bhakti yoga. To summarize, one takes birth in devotees family, religious family, pious family, among saintly people, which yields this person having good character, unmixed with sorrow, when he leaves his body during sattvaguna being prominent. Whereas those who have taken birth in the family of rajoguna will further take birth in such families, and his rajoguna keeps increasing as the family engage in doing desire-driven work, which results in mixed happiness with sorrow. Whereas those who have taken birth in the family of tamoguna, meaning there is no true knowledge, full of ignorance, they will continue to be born in such families, where they will not get an opportunity to practice any religious deeds. So therefore will be no opportunity to spiritually progress. Knowing all this so far is to bring awareness for us how we must be leading our current life, day-to-day life. We all must be striving to be in sattva guna. The next two verses speak of the benefits that flow from the growth of these gunas. karmaṇaḥ sukṛtasyāhuḥ sāttvikaṁ nirmalaṁ phalam rajasas tu phalam duḥkham ajñānaṁ tamasaḥ phalam. Namaste. Hare Krishna.